Now that we have covered the do loop, the next thing that we're going to discuss are the if statements. If statements are pretty much going to indicate how we control the application when a certain condition is met. For example, there's going to be a point to where we're going to want to make decisions based on the code that we see in front of us, and if statements are going to help us do that. By using if statements, we'll be able to detect if a certain string is there, a certain title is there, or a certain element of the web page, and from that point we'll be able to act upon that if statement. So let me go on and show you how to make a quick if statement. That way when we start programming the VBA application, we'll understand the if statements a lot better, and it'll be easier to understand. So let me go on and get this set up. So I'm already in my user form, command button 1, and this is just going to be a real quick example. Let's just say that we have a variable, we'll just call it the source code, and we're just going to put in the value hi. If statement is just as simple as doing this. If the source code is equal to hi, then, and then you just place your code in here. We can just say message box we found, or the source code variable is, and then just the word hi, and then you just put end if. All the code that you place between the if and the end if will be executed. So if I hit F5 and I just do test 1, we'll see that that source code, that the message box does come up, and that source code is executed what's in the if statement. Now I've also changed the variable to hi 2 and just do F5. We're not going to get any kind of message box. So something else that you can do, you can do an else if. So you can do if the source code is equal to hi, then you have the code that's all placed right here. Or you can do else and then code to be executed if the if statement is not met. And so we can just put message box, the source code is not the word hi. So if we hit F5 and run that code, we'll get the source code is not the word hi. Now the conditions, we're going to modify them to our preferences once we're actually developing the application. I just wanted to give a real quick demonstration on the if statement before we proceed. There are going to be different operators that we can use other than the equal sign. For example, if we are working with an integer, you can always do if the source code is greater than, let's say you want to see if it's greater than 10. So then you can put greater than 10, or in this case what would be better is do if the length of the source code is greater than 10, then you'll execute the code. If it's not greater than 10, then it would execute this code. So again, it's just a quick demonstration and example of the if statement.